Oh, hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another Office Hours with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director, and you saw nothing here at Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And as we do every day, the daily streak remains strong. Tomorrow will be not eight months of daily streams every single day. The streak remains strong. As I have done for those nearly 8 months, I am here for a short time today to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation, to answer your queries about the inner workings of this mysterious and dark place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff that contain them, the groups of interest who get really salty about this whole containment thing, they're just kind of jerks about it, really. And of course, hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview. Perhaps you're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. We are here for the next just shy of 2 hours. Just shy of 2 hours. But before I begin the standard Q&A, let me begin with some housekeeping. First of all, Dr. Frogman, congratulations on being our #1 most punctual member of the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Congratulations on being the first chatter. Alongside you, Dr. Puppeteer, Legendary Doge, Dandy's World, Orange Cloud, Carlton, King of ADHD, Amber, Nikki Knackle, Titanborn, Researcher Last, Marker, SCP-000, Silent Follower, Game 1 Peeps, Intern Dark, XL Official, Fanta, B Librarian, Kelsier Mistborn, Aoki, Aflac, Coolman Fights. Everyone who I have just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here as members of the Site 42 YouTube channel. We appreciate your membership and your service. As our green name ranks grow, we will truly, finally win the battle against the white names. And we thank you for your service. Furthermore, Fritz, Zulzulpi, Asmara Khan, Kyle Feltner, and Necrosis. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being punctual, and thank you for being here today, just for being you. Now, as our stream subject does state, they're Markiplyiing. They are Markiplyiing everywhere. But here's the good news. We have still managed to keep them within United States borders. Now, some of you might say, what about the Guam? What about Guam? You're also worried about Guam, you know that? Guam is cool, but it's not that important in the grand scheme of things because it's still part of the United States technically. And that means technically we still have this thing within U.S. borders and therefore contained. It has not breached America. It has breached the mainland. Doesn't matter. It's still within American, North American, United States of American borders. So, it doesn't matter that it started at 50, and then it went up to 300 over a weekend, and then over the next week, it became 500, and over the next week, it became 1,500, And now, partway through this weekend, it's up to 19,060 something. They are still, at least in the boundary of America. The masquerade's broken. They're Markiplyiing everywhere, which by their name, that's what you would expect them to do. But we are working on it, okay? Just like the heating tech is finally working on my heater. So, we're doing good right now. I'm here with you guys at office hours. The containment squad is working on the markiplation rate, seeing if we can slow that down somehow, maybe with some chemistry. Did I say 19,000? I meant 1,900. It's not over 9,000. Take away the over 9,000s. I may have said the wrong thing. So yes, we are here for office hours. It's fine. It's fine. Containment's on Markiplier's problem. The heat's happening. We're going up. We're going up. Things are going gangbusters here at the foundation. So, I see from the start here we have a donation. Let me get that donation before we continue with the standard Q&A. Dr. Sherman, hear me out. Oh boy, I don't like the sound of this. Aflac, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some flan on your way past the commissary. The Ipliers are good because screw you, that's why. On second thought, absolutely contain them. You're giving me some real mixed signals here, man. Real mixed signals. First of all, I never said the Ipliers were bad. I just said they shouldn't be Markiplyiing. We don't need more of them. One was enough. Agent Iplier was a very useful agent. And now this is getting a little crazy. And yes, we are going to contain them. Anything that is anomalous like this we contain, we're on it. Da, da, da. Orange Cloud, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some Tres Leches cake on your way past the commissary. Why do you want Mark's movie to only stay within U.S. borders? What did he do to you for you to hate his movie? Well, I don't know if you're keeping up with the conversation, Orange Cloud, but we're not talking about Markiplier's movie. We're talking about a zombie horde of clones of Markiplier breaching containment all across America, causing havoc, screaming, making funny noises with their face holes. Ah! Sounds all over the place. A boo-boo! It's insanity right now in the United States if you are not in a safe location. Thankfully, that horde of clones has not breached containment. I don't know what movie you're talking about, nor do I have tickets already purchased at my local theater. I don't know what you're talking about. Although my author apparently would like you to know that he thinks it's super cool that Markiplier managed to go from YouTuber to doing Heist with Markiplier and Space with Markiplier and now a fucking feature film, and that's all super cool, and it's inspiring to see how artists can continue to grow and work even outside the Hollywood system and get to a point where they're making independent projects of such scale, and that could probably be a good research case study for how the SCP community could do the same thing, and so we should all be supporting this artist as well as getting plans of our own in line. Yes, that was a very long one. You didn't need to... Ow. Aflac, thank you for donating again. Idea for an anomaly. You know that episode from The Office where they find out Stan is completely oblivious? That but an SCP. Likely put it through a 682 breach and go over how it survived. Unfortunately, I don't know that episode of The Office. Nor Stan is completely oblivious. I'll have to look into that. But yes, someone being oblivious and so outside the loop that they survive a 682 breach could be an interesting anomaly and story, that could be a fun anomaly to play with. In a lot of stories, actually. Orange Cloud, thank you for donating again. I don't believe you. Iron Lung the movie will be finger okay sign. Well, whatever this movie you're talking about, I'm sure it will be. No, but like, actually, are there any racist SCPs? Well, I don't know why that's of interest to you, intern Randy. It's a little bit of a weird subject of interest, but we do have an alien that is an interdimensional alien, not a space alien, but an interdimensional alien that is racist against humanity. It is SCP-1171. It's called Humans Go Home. And that is, in fact, just a racist alien. So, yeah, if for some reason you are in the market for racist SCPs, doesn't sound like my cup of tea, 1171 would be your friend. Not a great friend. Oh, Aoki. I guess you're right. There is also SCP-41-D3N73-J, otherwise known as SCP Al Dente-J, and that is the living boxes of Italian pasta that speak in a cartoonish, stereotypical Italian accent. Super racist brothers over there. Mamma mia, the trains are running on time. Also, is Wiki not down again? No, just that tab is down. Can you please go to the SCP I want? Okay, it's working now. So yes, that is 2 racist SCPs. Dr. Sherman, remember what I told you about my proposal? Posted it both to the Greenlight forums and the Sandbox. Oh, that's a good start on making it forward. Let's see if your proposal gets greenlit, and then you can begin the writing process. Fingers crossed. Do good work. It's hard, but if you practice hard, you will make your way. Sorry for not been on the stream these past months. I'm not really in a good state of mind right now, but I just wanted to say I have a job interview next week. Really excited. Well, intern Rat, first of all, no worries. We stream every single day, so missing some streams is not the end of the world. Trust me, there will be another day. Secondly, reminder that in the winter, when it is darker more commonly and cold, that brings on seasonal affective disorder in a lot of people, yours truly included. Especially last year, when I couldn't work because of my messed up foot, and I was just stuck on the couch recovering for months in the middle of the winter. That was very depressing. No bueno. Not good for your mental health. So take care of yourself as you has to. See friends. Do stuff like that. It's always weird to me. Intern Woody here, who's just showing up, sees someone with colored hair, I guess, and says, Dem voter, like an insult. The SCP community is a arts community, and the artists are majority, but not always, there's always exceptions, very liberal, very freedom-minded. They're usually smarter than the alternative. There's a correlation between education and caring about other people and helping people. Not, again, always. There are always exceptions. But The SCP Foundation is a welcoming community to the LGBTQIA community and such things like that. It is anti-racist, so yeah, you're the weird one here, buddy. Oh, wow, we're getting a whole bunch of these weirdos today. I wonder what's going on here. Why is it only Freaks live stream? Education Lamau? Actor. It's a job. It is a job that pays money. There is money that comes over here. This is a job. Sadly, I probably make more money than you, which is a travesty in this country. I'm not even allowed to see my friends as my mom doesn't trust them, so I'm really not socializing right now. I've been going on since October. That's weird. I don't know your family situation from the outside, so I can't give good advice here. All I can say is that find your social network anywhere you can. If you can't get in person because of family issues, maybe you can find some online friends to chat with to stem the tide. If you can't have your best case scenario, go to your second best, go to your third best. Do what you got to do to survive. Cool Man Fight, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a radish on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, I got news. It wasn't another Universe Site 42 that sent us those borax mugs. It was dwarves from Site Dwarf to pull a prank on us for lols. Very interesting. Well, send the dwarves some beard oil, but lace it with Nair so that their beards fall out. That's a good reverse prank. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a fruit salad. Yummy, yummy, on your way past the commissary. How's the foot, by the way? Hello. Well, hello to you, and the foot is getting better. I was actually doing too much rehab and stressing it out, so I had to lighten up a bit. And it is now feeling somewhat better. I gotta make sure I don't go overkill. If I go overkill on things, which I tend to do, then causes problems. Sometimes you can go too hard. That's what I've had to learn this year. I can exercise too hard and hurt myself. I can do rehab too hard and hurt myself. Man, these flesh bags, really finicky. Affleck, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, Waluigi has started using Snyders. We need all the fire support we can get. Yes. Yes, those die. And Waluigi with them if necessary. Get them gone. Get full force. Mr. Present, thank you for gifting 10 Site 42 memberships to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. If you got one of those memberships, make sure to thank Mr. Present for their generosity. As well, thank you for being a member yourself, Mr. Present. Make sure to grab yourself a pizza on your way past the commissary. Charlie 10 Pro, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some tuna salad on your way past the commissary. Do you think 682 has a favorite book to read? No, I do not. It would not survive the acid bath. We're not giving it books. Honestly, though, I'm actually curious if somewhere on the database this is mentioned. Intern Aguilar, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. SCP 682 book. Because it is old and intelligent. SCP-826 creates a book called The Generally Nice, Friendly Thing That Can and Will Kill SCP-682 Permanently, which backfired, and made 682 generate a book about its own about the failed containment attempt. Let's look at SCP-286, or 826. The book ends. Experiment Log 826. 682. All right, so it's in the termination log for 682 then. CP-682. Pop down to the extermination log. 826. Equip SCP-826 equipped with one copy of The Generally Nice, Friendly Thing That Can and Will Kill SCP-682 Permanently if it so much as spots that damn lizard. A 12-page short story written by Dr. Redacted, detailing a large friendly monster that is stated to be capable of permanently killing SCP-682, and one D-Class personnel equipped with one 2010 Ducati Multistrada motorcycle for the purpose of evading SCP-682. Okay. Termination test record. Story is put between SCP-826 and placed into a large empty room with a remotely operated doorway large enough to send 682 through. 682 is brought in front of the entryway securely. Once researchers clear the area, doors are remotely opened, exposing a green pasture similar to one described in the story. 682 is reluctant to go through, so D682-32 is sent through as bait. 682 follows through doorway, whereupon the doorway closed behind them. 30 minutes later, SCP-682 bursts back through the door it was sent through, somewhat worse for wear, killing 2-digit redacted researchers and 2-digit redacted agents in the process. So anywhere between 10 and 99 of each, we don't know. Recovery personnel described the story's pasture as having become a battleground featuring impact craters with enormous body parts scattered around. Parts are thought to be from the story's Thing. Recovered story is retitled The Generally Nice, Friendly Thing That Tried to Kill SCP-682 Permanently, but failed, and is notably thicker, with 209 individual pages that detail an epic battle between the two monsters. Additional attempts to coax 682 into 826 have been met with non-compliance on 682's part. So, I guess that last one is probably its favorite book, actually. That would make sense. The Mothman of West Virginia, sorry. Way ahead of you, Dr. Sherman. I already sent it. Thank you, Coolman Fight, for donating again, and thank you for accomplishing that task. We will wait to hear about the results of our prank. Mothman of West Virginia, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Not the first time we've had an SCP on staff, I guess. Coolman Fight, thank you for donating again. And I love other people is using Snyder's now. Well, I hate that. I think it's terrible, and I think they should stop. Mr. President, thank you for your 5-month member message as a level 1 researcher. I'll take 458 for a day, thanks, lol. You know what? You earned it today. You earned it. Gold to Slayer, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself a rack of ribs on your way past the commissary. The anomalous kobold has returned. How are you doing, Doctor? Hope you're feeding all the entities correctly in your custody. But good luck trying to find the gems to feed the hungry hands. I mean, this is why I invested in a very top-of-the-line commissary. It's good for morale, it keeps the anomalies mollified, everyone's happy. I have a question. Why doesn't the SCP Foundation use SCP-343 to contain other uncontained anomalies like SCP-973? Intern Necrosis, the answer to this is really easy. The first step is to remember SCP-343 is not God. Doesn't matter if it claims it is. It is not God. It is a reality bender with delusions of grandeur. Second of all, it is hideously lazy. It just sits there in its chair, talka, but it never actually helps. When we showed it 682 to say, hey, can you help us with this? It's like, oh, I can't even see it. It's not one of my creations. I don't know what it is. When the impasse came, SCP-6500, and nearly destroyed every single anomaly, nearly killed a bunch of humans, 343 was like, oh, my child, I can't help you. If a father helped a child with everything, they wouldn't be a very good father, would they? And that's when we shot 343 in the fucking face. So it never helped before, and it's probably not going to help us now. Why don't you use SCP-3108 to shoot SCP-682? We have done that. The nerfing gun made SCP-682 more violent and powerful, because that's what we perceive as worse. It was very frustrating. Dude, I used to watch you all the time. You've only gotten better. Well, thank you, Intern Poussey. We appreciate it. Throw titanium at 343. Intern Bread, I need you to go get some amnestics to detoxify from SCP-022-J. Titanium is not a super strong super metal that will help in every situation. Are there any SCPs who have died? Intern Randy, a lot of SCPs have died. You would expect that, over the course of the, some say 90 years, some say 190 years that the Foundation has been in effect, there have been lots of anomalies that just go over their natural lifespan and perish in containment. Or there's anomalies we kill for one reason or another. Or there's some sort of accident. There are a lot of anomalies that die. They are usually then classified as neutralized or decommissioned. Scarlet, no worries for being late, and happy birthday to you. Attention, Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Remember, there is a blue name in the chat. That is our moderator, the Desk of Alto Clef. Desk's sentient desk. Or Clef's sentient desk. Desk's sentient desk is the desk of Alto Clef. You don't want to mess with that guy. But our desk is usually amiable. But you should pay attention to the blue name in chat, because if the moderator is talking to you, you want to make sure you're not breaking any rules that might get you banned from chat. Never trust a guy with more than one color in his hair. Oh, come on, you can trust me. What am I going to do? Lock you in a cell for the rest of your life? Probably. Will you deserve it? Probably not. Will I care? Honestly, why do we have so many of these freaking weirdos in chat today? Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. I'm laughing. I can hear the dwarfs are screaming and cursing both you and me for the prank we did on them. So shall we prepare another joke for the lulz? Well, yes, because we know they are going to go on the assault. So, we got to be ready to counter prank. This is the way. I have another question. What would happen if you shot SCP-096 using SCP-3108? I have a bad idea that it would end up similar to 682. It would make 096 probably have faces all over its body, so it's harder not to look at its face or something. It would be very annoying for us, probably. What is this talk about dwarves? Did I miss something? Intern Screwy. This particular chatter has a link with a extra universal site that is an SCP site run by dwarves. And so it's a sort of chat in-joke for this person. It's hard to keep track of context sometimes. There's so much going on in the SCP multiverse. It's sometimes easier just to roll with it. Where do you rank? I am a site director here at Site 42, which means within the Foundation I am a level 4 classification rank. Have you ever played an SCP game, or will you stream one in the incoming days? Intern de Room. On this channel, there is a playlist of me playing the game SCP Fragmented Minds. I also have a stream from the past on the gaming stream playlist that has playing SCP Secret Lab for a little bit. But mostly my best ability as a streamer is the yapping. And so a lot of our streams turn into yap streams anyways, because it's always more fun if I'm talking to you guys than if I'm just playing a stream, playing a game and not really paying as much attention to you guys. Well, technically, there's one SCP that only wishes to die, but can't, that being John. Man, they put that guy for the ringer, and somehow he still has a good mood. Well, first of all, if it's an SCP, remember, it is not a he, it's an it. All anomalies are objects, not people. So please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. But secondly, which anomaly is that John? There are a lot of anomalies, and John's a very common name, so I'm not sure which one you're talking about there. There are also plenty of anomalies that want to die, so. Are the mannequins keeping the border secure still? 369 Destroyer. As far as I know, the containment team is currently handling the Markiplier situation, and the mannequins seem to be holding the borders. It was very difficult for us to get that perimeter of mannequins around the island of Guam so quickly, but we succeeded. So right now, the borders are holding. We have contained the multiplication rate of these Markipliers within the United States boundaries, but I should say we contain the Markipliers. The multiplication rate is still Markiplyiing. So we are not quite there. If anything, soon everybody within the United States will just be Markipliers. And that many people is going to be really hard to contain. But Canada and Mexico are fine so far. We're keeping them out of the boats. We're doing okay. Intern Delirious Rain, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Lockjaw, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a taco on your way past the commissary. As long as SCP-682 has eyes that can see to keep SCP-173 safe from itself, could an SCP-4812-S destroy SCP-682? Well, as I think we already answered this, as long as 682 stays between 4812-S and 682, then it can have the eyes on the opposite side of 4812-S. So as long as it's sandwiched in between, as long as it maneuvers itself properly, then it will be able to keep an eye on 173 as well as not look at 4812-S. Furthermore, all 682 would have to do to get into that position is let 173 wrangle it a little bit while it gets into position. So it can take a couple hits while it tries to get into position. So no, 682 can handle that. Desk. I have not answered that question from AA Studios, although I did talk about 343. 067 in 343's hands. Well, there's a couple options here. Either we could get a very long and detailed backstory, as we would in most cases, although depending on the nature of 343's reality bending ability, it might not be affected by 067 at all. It might simply just pick the pen up, go, huh, that's neat, and put it back down. So, yeah. Might be worth testing, although if someone wanted to test that, that would mean they're writing a very long SCP story. Or a very short one that's not worth writing. I mean, really, you could use the excuse of SCP-067 as an excuse to write a long backstory about any anomaly in the SCP Foundation. That is just a story writing device, a framing device in action. So, someone could have a series writing backstories of SCPs with the end result being written with SCP-067, essentially. Or during SCP-067 tests, blah, 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 blah. Could be a fun series. Gold 2 Slayer, thank you for donating again. Apparently there's a few of them, but the one I'm remembering was just this normal guy that I believe they called John. Anytime he died, he just reformed next to his dead body and continued on. Was it a joke one or not? So, dying but reforming next to your corpse, that sounds like Connor from Confinement, but I don't remember a John respawning anomaly. SCP John die. Oh, I'm not seeing anything off the top of my search here, but maybe you can look through the database and find it later. Lockjaw, thank you for donating again. If SCP-682 was changed to SCP-048, chained or changed? Could SCP-682 self-neutralize? Well, while I figure out what you mean by that, I'm going to look at SCP-048 to see what that anomaly is. Ah, okay, I see what you mean. The cursed SCP number. Any items given designation tend to be destroyed, decommissioned, or stolen. So, let's go to the 682 termination log, and we'll look at 048, because I bet it's in there. Reclassification to SCP-048. Tissue test record, not applicable. Termination log, denied by 05 command. Note, while it could potentially give us the result we desire, the possibility of SCP-682 being stolen instead of being destroyed after its reclassification could cause more problems than waiting longer to find an alternative solution to the issue at hand. Not to mention the fact that the possibility of losing everyone working with SCP-682 would be a major catastrophe to the Foundation. Signed, 057. So, yes, that has been tried and was not approved. Intern necrosis. I will answer your question only somewhat obliquely, but I will tell you this. You were not able to type Dr. Bright in the chat for a reason. It's because it's against the rules on this channel to talk about the character known as Dr. Bright. You might not be familiar, and so we're not mad at you or anything, but the reason Dr. Bright is auto-modded here, and the reason that going around it is still a rule break, is because the character of Dr. Bright has been pretty much outright banned by most of the SCP community. This is because the author who used Dr. Bright as an author insert character both got banned from the community for doing a lot of allegedly really gross stuff and used the character of Dr. Bright in that really gross stuff. And so they are intrinsically linked in a way that we're separating the art from the artist is not kosherized rules. So the SCP Wiki has replaced Dr. Bright in numerous articles so that the character doesn't exist anymore. And here at Site42, we do not talk about that character at all. You can utilize Dr. Elias Shaw, who is also an immortal who steals bodies when they die, but that character does not use the SCP-963 amulet, which is also persona non grata. Instead, Dr. Shaw's gimmick is that whatever body Shaw takes over has heterochromia, 2 different colored eyes. And then there's a Dr. Lachlan Cairns. And I don't remember what makes a body distinct for Dr. Lachlan Cairns, but it's SCP-8586 is the anomaly. And so Dr. Cairns only awakens in nearby dead bodies, so does not take living bodies. So, yes, if you want more information, Desk will share a video called The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright on this channel, which explains a short summary of the situation with links to greater evidence. But here at Site42, the simple rule is we don't talk about that character. We do not talk about Bruno, no, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno. But any immortal who came to life with knowledge of No 96's face would die again. And so, until they were somehow amnesticized or lobotomized to no longer have the memory of 096's face, they would repeatedly keep getting killed. It's not a great time. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. We have more likes than people, and I made too many rye pancakes for me to eat. Could please hand the rye pancakes out to people. Do you heart vote? Well, A, you are correct. We do have more likes than viewers right now, so congratulations, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename The Signal Boosters. We have, of course, been pushing the SCP Foundation's profile here in the YouTube short space for Garam near 8 months now straight in the streams. And so we are doing our best, and your help hitting that like button brings the algorithm, brings us more viewers. And sometimes we get a bunch of weird racist losers like earlier. But sometimes we get cool people who would be like, oh, this SCP Foundation sounds super cool. And then they want to hang out with us, and therefore they become SCP fans, and that's how we get more people to support the SCP Wiki and its authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, etc. So we thank you for your service. The SCP-8060 team has seen your animated short and wants to know about your experience being an hallucinatory class entity, also known as a toon. I have never heard that term, hallucinatory, before, but let me pull up 8060 and see if I can get some frickin' intel here. Okay, it is a unreleased series finale of Societown, an educational animated children's show produced by Group of Interest 411, codename Sputnik Studios, and the anomalous phenomenon surrounding said finale. That word is not in the hallucinatory. There we go. Expansive and substantially altered reality of unknown makeup resembling the titular town from Societown, populated by a large number of hallucinatory class entities. Footnote, data expunged. All right, so we have a cartoon. We have a bunch of stuff going on here. Oh, this is getting crazy. Oh, okay. That's woo! I'm gonna have to look into 8060 later. That's getting nuts. But to answer the department's question, you know, being a toon was minorly uncomfortable for a minute, but you kind of get used to it. You got to learn the rules. You got to learn the hammer space laws of physics. It gets a little confusing, but it's not that hard to work out. I'm new here. Is this like a guy standing around talking about SCPs? Well, intern Super Zigzag Gamer, the answer is no. This is a guy sitting in a chair talking about SCPs. But yes, hello, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site-42 of the SCP Foundation, and I am here to answer your queries about this place that we work, the SCP Foundation. Obviously, you've been working here for a while, but you can't know every secret of the Foundation, and I'm here to make your job easier by giving you the intel you need to do a good job. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff that contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside the SCP Foundation's purview, we are here for the next about an hour. We have about 1 hour left. That's the time check. Sitting in a chair, how dare you disrespect the esteemed Dr. Chair like that? Well, Researcher Titanborn, it is not disrespecting Dr. Chair to say I'm sitting in a chair. In fact, sitting in a chair is what Dr. Chair is here for. That is Dr. Chair's raison d'etre. Sitting in a chair is right there. It is the main goal. So I am fulfilling a purpose here. If SCP-3086 was inside a PNG file, would George the Chinchilla be able to infect file types that are not an image file, like .exe or custom file? The answer is no. SCP-3086 can only transition to text and image formats unless certain problems happen. And so, only image and text files are applicable. But if the file is on a computer, the likelihood there's another image file, there's another image file, there's another text file. Computers are a really ornery way for George the Chinchilla to get out of control. Especially if you hook them up to the internet. Then they email themselves places and it gets crazy. Have you heard of SCP-7999? Yes, indeed. I read it during the 7000 contest when it came out. It is a very good article, and one that is personally very enjoyable to me, because at one point, the anomaly and the researcher interviewing it, Argentine Tango in Paris. And as a Argentine Tango dance instructor, I felt seen. I still need to find a mantis costume and go out to Paris and do a TikTok Argentine tangoing by the Eiffel Tower. That would be a lovely homage to said article, but I also need a partner who can Argentine tango and fit inside to a mantis costume. Oh, cool man fight. I forgot to do the rest of your dono because I did the thanking people for liking thing. So, yes, please have some pancakes if you want pancakes. And do you heart vote? I don't know what do you heart vote meant. I mean, I do vote. Keeping track of politics is the only way to try and steer the world in the right way as we can and protect people from the bad things that are happening in the world. Is the pen an SCP? No. My pen is a perfectly normal, non-anomalous, non-human pen. Completely normal in every way. Dr. Sherman, please send help. I'm currently fighting several Darkiplier. There are 50 of them. I don't know where this is happening to you. What is your location? All our surveillance has a maximum level of Wharf Stash. We have not seen a single Darkiplier. What do you mean you're fighting 50 of them? Where are you? Keep in mind the mantis is shorter than the researcher when shown in the dance. That is true, Monochrome Arts. And, fun fact, in case you don't know, I am a 6-foot-tall person, which means there are many people shorter than me. Most Argentine Tango followers are shorter than me. People don't realize I'm a tall. I have several times met people from the SCP community in person. They always say, huh, he's taller than I thought he would be. Do I look short on camera? Do I look short to you right now? Where is my height to you guys? Because I am not short. I don't know why anyone thinks I'm short. I'm not short. I am an average to tall man height. I don't know what the deal is here. I'm getting a majority of you look shorts. Maybe I'm wearing clothes in a fit that make me look shorter than I am? Interesting. Maybe it's the lab coat. Maybe the lab coat makes me look like a shorty. I don't know. Not important. Dr. Sherman, please send help. I'm fighting SCP-2662. Why would you be fighting SCP-2662? 2662 is a very docile entity that helps us out in containing it. It wants to be contained. In fact, I think we should help 2662 and stop you from fighting it. What the hell is your problem? Be chill. What, did it beat you at a video game or something? You can't take losing to a Cthulhu in Street Fighter and now you're being a dick about it? Leave Cthulhu alone! Greetings, Dr. Sherman. This is my first day at Site 42. I was told to come here if I have any questions. Well, Intern Okatsu, that is exactly correct. Here at the daily briefing, you are here to get your questions answered by the site director. So this is the exact place you want to be if you have queries about your job here at the SCP Foundation, or the Foundation in general. By the way, I love your hair. What hair dye did you use? Intern Monochrome, unfortunately, I don't know, because the on-site stylist is very talented, and I did not ask questions. I just let her work. But if I remember, I've got an appointment to get a trim next week, so maybe I'll remember to ask about it. Dr. Sherman, what would you do if you learned most of the versions of you in alternate universes were Sarkics asking for a friend? Well, I mean, that's just a query of... Sometimes it's a query of upbringing and location. Sometimes if you're in the wrong environment, if you are from a town that in multiple universes was taken over by Sarkics, then that's just how you would end up in those universes. And so I wouldn't think too deeply about it. It's just circumstance. Tighten this, it's drooping. Dr. Sherman, can I tame SCP-682? Intern Ray, the answer is not likely. The only thing I've seen temporarily tame SCP-682 is SCP-053. And you are no SCP-053. So, I'm gonna guess the answer is no. Announcement, Dick Van Dyke has made it to 100 years old. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Dick Van Dyke rules. Dr. Sherman, after being here for months, I only have just realized you wear a necklace. Well, it just really brings the look together so well. It just blends, so you don't really pay attention to it. Do we have... Dick Van Dyke is mentioned twice on the SCP Wiki. Once in the tale, He Who Laughs Last. It is a Mr. Laugh and Bobble the Clown tale. Oh, dear Lord. And in that, Mr. Laugh saying Dick Van Dyke's put on a happy face in his Eeyore voice. So that was just a mention of the singer of the song. And here, SCP-7158 refers to 158 anomalous episodes and subsequent reruns of the American 60s sitcom The Dick Van Dyke Show, originating from a television signal of unknown origin. For every non-anomalous episode broadcast on public television, an anomalous version is broadcast to a smaller amount of television sets on the same channels via anomalous means. Initially, the plot of every anomalous episode is identical to the non-anomalous episodes. The inciting difference between the episodes and their anomalous counterparts is that the main character, Rob Petrie, played by Dick Van Dyke, retains the memory of all previous episodes, including reruns, in the order they are broadcast. This causes the course of the show and many individual episodes to diverge from their initial plot significantly. All physical properties of 7158 and its characters appear to reset after the end of each episode, appearing as they normally do at the beginning of the next episode aired. This effect includes physical injuries sustained by characters. The entity Rob remains aware of its own deaths, but retains no sensory input after expiration. Okay, so we're just traumatizing Dick Van Dyke over here? Oh! Oh! Oh no! Rude. Content warning for SCP-7158, the Dick Van Dyke episode show, SCP. Poor guy. No spoilers. Put SCP-7158 on your reading list, but listen to the content warning. Woo! Dick Van Dyke, I didn't know you had it in you. Happy birthday. Dr. Sherman, I have found that cereal-flavored vodka attracts the Markipliers. If we get a large enough container of it, we can concentrate them in a single place. First of all, what do you mean, cereal-flavored vodka? What? Like, I know people make cinnamon milk by, like, soaking Cinnamon Toast Crunch in milk and then filtering out, straining out the Cinnamon Toast Crunch and then bottling the milk. That's weird. Cereal-flavored vodka, that terrifies me. 1 year as a gift, I got a bottle of bacon-flavored vodka. Bacon with a K, so you know it was horrifying. And we would keep this in the freezer. And every time someone new came to the lab, we would have to take them to the break room, and it was a hazing initiation to make them take a shot of that awful bacon vodka. That's how we know you were cool, if you could handle it. Ugh. Radical Ruination. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. And hey, long time no see. Hope you've been doing well. Make sure to grab yourself a charcuterie board on your way past the commissary. Doc, my directive has changed. What SCP should I utilize to surpass God himself and bind my essence to reality itself? Well, first of all, I would appreciate if you did not become a deity. That's just a lot of paperwork for us to deal with. It's not in your best interest, is what I'm saying. But if you were to do that, the quickest way to get to godhood for any of us Unfortunately, yep, SCP-7052, codename Butt Spoons. Or no, codename Spoons in Butt, but colloquially known as Butt Spoons. You see, there is a not well known, but a well known within the Foundation practice that the more spoons you can fit in your butthole, the more powerful an entity you become. The first spoon or two makes you more attractive to the opposite gender, or no, more attractive to the gender of your choosing. It's you can be gay and still enjoy butt spoons. You become stronger and more intelligent. You, at more spoons, you can get a healing factor like Wolverine. You get ontokinetic effect that results in greater luck. You get probability manipulation. And improvement in mood. So I guess it maybe cures your depression? What do forks get me? A perforated intestine. Don't do that. So yes, SCP-7052 is the Foundation's log on how putting spoons in your butt turns you into God. Now, of course, we have a newer SCP, the Black Marker, and that is also much easier because SCP-9592 is a marker that if you write an adjective on something, the living entity gets that adjective applied to it. So if you write divine, they became a god. That easy. The problem is it's pretty easy to wipe off a marker as compared to getting spoons out of your butt, so that makes it more likely to stick. And furthermore, there's only one marker that can be the anomalous marker, SCP-9592, but SCP-7052 can be done with every spoon on Earth. That is just a thing, a quality of spoons for some reason. Are they permanent, or do I need to have 12 spoons in my rectum at all times? You have to have the spoons in your rectum. You can't take them out. If you remove the spoons, you remove the abilities. What? I knew the Foundation deals with anomalies, but not stuff like that. Dr. Sherman, with all respect, how are you even still humanly sane? Intern Okatsu, I get it. You just get used to it, man. You have your entire view of reality and sanity shattered enough times, it becomes another day at the office. Just read SCP-7158. Holy hell, that got dark. I told ya! Not all is going well for Dick Van Dyke over there. And you know, just to continue on, the traumatizing intern Okatsu train to, train them better to handle the crazy anomalies we handle here at the Foundation. Let's not forget about SCP-3307, codename Cornucopias. Cornucopias, of course, is an SCP agent who was abducted by aliens, and the aliens gave, as a gift to our agent, the ability to create infinite food. However, they didn't really know enough about humans to do that in a palatable fashion. And so what they did is they made the agent able to spawn your favorite food from seemingly any orifice of its body. So if you think about a hot dog, then the agent will vomit a fully formed hot dog. It'll be a little soggy, unfortunately, but it will be a fully cooked, edible hot dog. If you ask for Diet Cola, he will need to unzip his pants to dispense it. As you can tell, it's not exactly appetizing. We don't think that's a part of the anomaly. We just all think it's gross. So yeah. People think that the SCP Foundation contains, it's just so many God-killing entities, so powerful. No, it's just a bunch of really weird shit. It's just so much weird shit. Does that include sweat? Dr. Frogman, I don't think it actually includes sweat. We don't have a log of sweat being used to dispense a food, or a drink in this case it would be. And the harvesting of that drink would be very difficult, like scraping it off the skin. So I don't think that was used as a method of food delivery. I wish I could post images in this chat to accurately depict my face right now. Yeah, we would have some trouble if that were the case. I'm sure of it. Weird question, but does he piss milk? That's the only reason the word male milk would exist. Dr. Moonston, I'm sorry to say you are incorrect. Because you can milk dudes. With the right hormones and the right situation, men can be milked. That is a whole thing. That's not even counting the SCP milk that makes you grow titties. What was the one? The milk one. SCP milk bottle, SCP-686. The milk bottle that makes anyone produce milk and keep going and going and growing and growing unless they are suitably milked. Man. We are really getting into the dark side of SCP. Dr. Moonston, you were just joking around. I'm here dealing with the scientific facts, okay? Okay? And to answer the rest of your question, yes. If your favorite beverage happened to be milk, then yes, SCP-3307 would piss milk for you. Is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted? Thanks. I hate it. Thanks, I hate it, thanks, I hate it, thanks, I hate it. Intern Chris Peking, thank you for your first donation. Is that Chris P. King? As in your middle initial is P, but also you're a Crispy King? I like Chris Peking. I'm going with Chris Peking. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a jellied donut on your way past the commissary. I need to know, could Shy Guy be used to help contain Abel? Like cover the cells with pictures of Shy Guy so he attacks when Abel wakes up? Well, first of all, remember 096 and Abel both are anomalies. They are objects, not people. They are referred to with its pronouns. Not he, not she, it. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. Second of all, because Abel takes so long to respawn after death, that means that 096 would likely breach containment during the intermittent time. So it's not an effective way to keep 096 contained, so it's not a good plan. Aaron, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Radical Ruination, thank you for donating again. Thanks, Doc. I must utilize the spoons to obtain the marker. Utilizing both, I can become divinity. Got a multiversal anomalous thing I gotta deal with over here, and I prefer to minimize casualties. Well, have fun at the war. Just don't make a mess on my lawn. A massive part of the SCP lore and SCPs can be summed up with "thanks, I hate it." That is true, B. Librarian and Dr. Moonson. I feel like shit now. I'm sorry to hear it, but yeah, a lot of the SCP database just makes you want to go, man. And I mean, most of all, don't feel bad because you certainly made everything interesting. And I would rather it be horrifying and interesting than dull. So, honestly, thank you for that. Do you store stuff in your sound booth when you aren't in it? Well, Dr. Chair lives here, and I leave my lab coat on Dr. Chair to keep Dr. Chair warm during that time, but that I don't store stuff in it otherwise. Because then I'd have to move it, and that would not be fun. It's time I invest in some headphones. My roommate walked into cornucopia-ass and said, and I quote, "Nope, I don't even want to know," and walked out. You know, that's just another civilian who doesn't need to know about the anomalous. I think we did a good job here today. Terragal, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Cornish game hen on your way past the commissary. A mobile task force showed up and is wondering what I'm fighting. They can't see 50 Darkiplier. I knew it. They're using their reality warping ability to make themselves invisible. My dragon eyes see them, though. That's not good. Well, do you have any research on Dragon Sight that we can use to augment our Mobile Task Force's goggles? Because otherwise, you're kind of on your own. I mean, how do we fight what we can't see? We do have other invisible entities. We have done that before, but we need the right force for that. I hope they've undergone the invisible combatant training. That would be helpful for this scenario, clearly. I thought the worst thing I heard could happen at the Foundation was a 682 containment breach, but no, it gets so much worse. Worse. slowly going insane. Hey, you're making your way toward despondent sanity, okay? You just keep going down that madness route and you will break and you'll come out the other side stronger and deader inside. How would the Foundation contain John Carpenter's The Thing? Well, the first scenario is that it is a shape-changing entity. So the good number one goal is just keeping it in its box where it can't get to anybody. If we can keep it contained in a cell, we don't have to worry about it at all. But of course, that's not the point of The Thing movie. It's about all of the intrigue and among us, there's an imposter situation going on. But I would reckon that, actually, we have a video on this channel, how the SCP Foundation would contain the imposter from among us. And that does apply to The Thing as well. So check out that video here on the channel. I think I found a way to contain SCP-096. Well, remember, we already have one that's working most of the time, so let's see what you got, though. We take someone who eats an entire Bible, 5991, then looks at an image of 096. It may be trapped in Jesus land for a bit, or will it be unable to enter? Thoughts? So, if A 096 shows up before the guy gets eaten, then Vor Jesus will just leave because the person died. If the person gets swallowed by Vor Jesus and ends up in the Jesus Land theme park, you see, here's the catch. SCP-096 will chase you because it can sense where you are. And if it knows a way there, it will go through a door to like another dimension. It'll know where the door is. But would it know to eat a whole Bible? Would it be smart enough to do that? Because then the answer is, if it can't, then you would be safe as long as you're in the theme park. But as soon as you leave the theme park, you would get got. Meanwhile, if we somehow trapped 096 in Vor Jesus' stomach, if it did figure out how to eat a Bible and then it killed whoever was in there, then 096 could easily wander out because there's a very easy exit to Jesus Land. So that wouldn't keep 096 contained either. So overall, this isn't really a suitable plan. Who else saw him have the PTSD flashback when he said Jesus Land? Oh. By the way, as a time check, Site 42 staff, we are less than 30 minutes left in stream. Less than 30 minutes. Join us in the sun, Doctor. It's a wonderful day outside. Well, intern Vetindaline, the answer is no. I'm going to stay in my bunker, safe from the Markipliers. Okay, so I am late. That is true, Chester Factory. We are currently 90 minutes into this 2-hour stream. I want to tickle your booty hole. Intern Reza, I appreciate the offer, but I will have to decline. Hashtag annoyed in asexual. Hashtag, this stream has already been so weird already. That's not nearly the weirdest thing we've talked about today. But, a rather improper proposition for your site director. So you are going to have to go to HR now. Dr. Sherman, an old man with a black body is coming towards me, and he's talking about a pocket dimension. What should I do? Well, intern lifesaver, interestingly enough, I don't think we've ever heard the old man speak. So, you know, back away from Radical Larry slowly, but keep up the conversation. If Larry's feeling chatty, then get what intel you can. Hey, Scranton spoke before he got 3,001. Yeah, but that was before. That doesn't count. I mean, once you go through all that, you're pretty much, woo. Okay, so I am going to need to rewatch the VOD later to know what happened. Chester Factory? Let's just say there were some butt spoons involved. Discussed. Nothing of the sort actually happened. It was discussed hypothetically as a database entry, SCP-7052. Can you put SCP-096 versus King in Yellow? I highly doubt it. So, reminder that the King in Yellow is not an SCP. It is a Lovecraft entity. And furthermore, you're talking about a multiversal kind of entity versus 096, which 096 is pretty powerful for a ground level threat, but Scarlet King, Hanged King, King in Yellow, all of these kings, so to speak, they are multi-dimensional entities. They are much bigger than 096. It's not a matchup that would even matter. If anything, I don't assume that the Scarlet King, the Hanged King, the King in Yellow, etc., would even acknowledge 096 exists in a manner that count as recognizing it. Therefore, if they can't understand what 096's face looks like, 096 would never attack them in the first place. What kind of job do you have IRL? Well, Intern Hellmaster, I am Site Director of Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. Clearly, that's what we're doing here. But my author is a ballroom dance teacher and actor, if that's of interest to you for some reason. I saw Ko-Fi come in. Let me get the... Be Librarian, thank you for your Ko-Fi donation. You're, as well as being a member, grab yourself some Cheetos at the commissary. I don't remember if you donated earlier. Normally, I don't think you did this your first donation. The King in Yellow isn't Lovecraftian in origin. Oh, is it not? I always thought it was. And it's actually the inspiration for the Hanged King. Very direct one, too, so it would be a better comparison of power. That's what I thought. All of those kings. All of those kings. Hey Doc, I just made a vodka gun that we can use against the Markipliers. The only downside is it gives the user slight liver damage. Can I get D-class to help me test its effects? That's just a squirt gun. A vodka gun is just a squirt gun. Maybe a fire hose if you have enough vodka. But also you have to get it down their gullets. This is not a highly effective plan. I mean, you'd be more effective just hitting them with a fire hose. What does your background look like a soundproof paneling? Are you with SCP-066? No, Intern Cube, I just do these office hour streams in the Audiophonics lab because the acoustics are better for this conversation. I could do it in my office, it would be much worse sound quality. So I come to the Audiophonics lab for that. Could you dispense the water from SCP-006 with SCP-294? The Fountain of Youth, right? Yup. And 294. Music, pertinent medical knowledge, life story, surprise me, blood of Christ, Smilodon blood. So here's the deal. If the liquid doesn't exist, then the liquid won't happen. I.e. cup of Smilodon blood, cup of Passenger Pigeon blood, cup of Thomas Jefferson's blood. We know that. They're out of range there. Leukemia, music. Blood of Christ only came up as wine, so that was a colloquialism. I have no reason to believe that 294 couldn't reach it. I think 294 could spawn SCP-006 fluid. It's worth a test. Level 1 researcher Anton Knight, thank you for your 3-month member message. We appreciate your membership and your service. Grab yourself some latkes on your way past the commissary. You had me at vodka gun, and I only just logged in. Well, it does sound like a killer party in the break room. Why do 95% of you only roleplay dying? Well, to be fair, Desk, it is only in conflict that we find interesting narratives. And only when facing one's death does one really understand the true levels of their own humanity. So, that's probably why. Plus, it's always funny to watch stupid people get what's coming to them. And so it's a start of comedy right there. Dying is seen as an emergency, so they'll think you're prioritized it or something. Good point, Dr. Frogman. Good point indeed. It means, oh no, I better react now before they're gone. You can't tempt me. Death is so common around the Foundation anyways. Also, Foundation staff do die a lot. Well, intern Renegade, let's not talk about that. It's all in the name of the greater good anyways. SCP-9303 is a pretty recent SCP and it's really sweet. Well, intern Monochrome, you've got my interest. Now let's see if 9303 is as nice as you say. Really? The Vent Monster? The Vent Monster. Aw. Okay. Wasn't expecting the Vent Monster to be a sweetie pumpkin. Today I learned. SCP-9303, Certified Cuddle Buddy. I personally think that using death as a means of conflict is easy writing-wise. There's so many ways to cause chaos without people dying, so it's just taking the easy way out as an author. That is true. A lot of authors are too willing to kill off their characters for the dramas. And yeah, it is a shortcut, but you know, it's a cliche, it works, and that's why it's used so often. But there are more difficult yet enduring ways to set up drama as well. Is there any SCP that can actually be killed? Intern Roger, most SCPs can be killed or destroyed in one way or another. But the thing is, we don't want to, because then we can't study them anymore. So we won't destroy them. At the same time, I find it a little soft to not be willing to kill your characters. Well, yes, Dr. Frogman, that as well. Sometimes your precious little baby darlings do need to have some risk in life, and there's their scenario. But you can set up enough physical or mental or social consequences to balance that if you really don't want them to die, but you want them to still go through it. I found a hostile Markiplier in Germany. Help. I will help you, Intern Vinyik, when you provide proof of that. Because all of my maps right now say that the Markipliers are contained within United States boundaries. They have not breached the United States territories yet. And as long as we hold, we're fine. So, you tell me with proof that they're there. Because until I see them on my map, it doesn't count. I've been hearing rumors that they've gotten into Canada, but I have not seen any on the map yet, so we don't have proof yet. Especially keep an eye out Canadian. I'm hearing more and more rumors that that's happening. What's the plan for SCP-001, the Scarlet King, if it ever tries to attack? Well, Intern Necrosis, first of all, the big plan is to keep it out of our universe in the first place. If we keep it out of our universe in the first place, we don't have to deploy the strategy. But furthermore, we have logs of a universe where the Scarlet King was defeated, although it took 7 very powerful and important entities wielding 7 magical spears to do it. For the story that's in, oh, what's it called? When We Something. When We Came Home. When We Came Home is the name of the tale at the end of the series where the Scarlet King is defeated. Now, obviously, you might want to read the rest of the series before reading the ending, but that is When We Came Home is the ending tale. You want to find the series by Djoric, D-J-O-R-I-C. That author wrote a whole series, starting with, I think the tale's called Dust and Blood, but it's a Scarlet King series. Look for intel in my Scarlet King Declassified video here on the channel, and that'll guide you to that series. By the way, Site 42 staff, 10 minutes left in stream. 10 minutes left in stream, so get your final questions in. The fact that the Scarlet King is labeled as safe is a great way to remind people that containment class has nothing to do with power level or danger. Indeed. Intern Mudavchiv. I've seen 2 of your messages, and I must remind you, the SCP community is a writing community, so you got to think up some smarter jokes. I mean, you're in the chat. It is a writing platform here, but we're all writers. We have better jokes than you. Try harder. Really, level up your game a little bit. Okay, dumbass. You did not measure up to the challenge, unfortunately. Oh well. No, Desk. I smote that one myself. Just felt like the appropriate thing to do. Hey, just the one. I'll still let you play your game down there. It's good to be back here. My back is super painful after the SCP-049 breaching 008. Don't give the Plague Doctor the zombie virus. Nothing good can come of this. Dr. Sherman, some people are trying to squish 999 into a cube. Well, I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, SCP-999 is very pliable, but it is 2 meters by 1 meter, making it more of a oblong, rounded rectangle. So squishing it into a cubic shape, while possible, might be mildly uncomfortable for it. It's not great. Smote is the past tense of smite. I'm pretty sure it is. Yes, the past tense is smote. So you can smite somebody, or you already smote them. Desk. I would have liked to bet on it because I was right. You're very lucky. Dr. Sherman, something weird just crossed my mind. If we don't know, took a blood sample from SCP-682, could we potentially build a mobile task force with 682 power of adaptability? Merely a hypothetical. So we have not been able to utilize blood samples from SCP-682 to reproduce its adaptability, unfortunately. It's not a bad plan, but also it's really hard to get blood from 682 without losing a lot of researchers. So we got to balance research versus that many lives claimed. I mean, we at the Foundation love expendable D class and stuff like that, but oh, it's a pretty rough one. By the way, allow me to give intern Okotsu my Rookie of the Day Containment Hazard Assessment Team member. Haven't seen you around these parts before, but you're giving some very good questions today. You're thinking with your head. Appreciate you welcoming you to the chat today. We've had a lot of freaks and weirdos in a bad way, so you're a breath of fresh air. Anton, thank you for donating for the first time today, as well as your member message. Make sure to grab yourself some pizza rolls on your way past the commissary. Precog division here. That Skeletor meme is close to becoming a cognition hazard because someone decided to start feeding it prophecies. Mobile Task Force Azraeus 0 is on it. Do not meet Skeletor again. I haven't even heard of the Skeletor business. What is this Skeletor business? You said it's cognito hazard. I don't want to know. Let them handle it. Aflac, thank you for your 6-month member message as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Grab yourself a quesadilla on your way past the commissary. Oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinal. Oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinal. I was just thinking about that yesterday, actually. I was so annoyed that I couldn't remember it. So, crazy that you brought that up the very next day. I don't like the fact that you read my mind like that. Notorious Gaming, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a hot link on your way past the commissary. I have an idea. Round up the Markipliers up and let Dr. Gerald drive in the same area. Oh, trust me, we are considering Dr. Gerald as a aimed missile at any point. It's just very dangerous, so we gotta hold that risk right. Vetin Denaline. Unfortunately, the stream schedule is very chaotic. I do never know what time of day I will be streaming, only that I will be streaming every day. The streak remains strong. Tomorrow is our 8-month anniversary of daily streams. We haven't missed a single day. So, my suggestion to you is A, hit the bell when you're subscribed to the channel. Turn on notifications, that way YouTube tells you. And the YouTube notifications are pretty unreliable sometimes. So if you are 18 or older, you may join the Site 42 Discord server, and there is a role called YouTube Live Alert that we ping every day right at the start of stream. And Discord notifications are clearer, more reliable. So you may do that if you wish. We will have a hint to where the Site 42 Discord server is coming up in the outro in about 3 minutes. And a reminder, because the SCP Wiki is an 18+ community, I mean, look at the stuff we talked about today, people. That means you must also be 18+ to join the Site 42 Discord. Can objects be affected by Daybreak SCP-001? Daybreak only affects organic beings. So buildings are fine, but trees, animals, humans, all gone. What are we doing in celebration of 1 year of daily streams? I don't know, but I have to think of something. And it has to not be dyeing my hair pink because that's 2,500 members. And it needs to not be 5,000 members reward, which is the cat-made waifu stream. So, we need to think of something else for a 1 year anniversary. A Dr. Sherman plushie drop. Well, we haven't done that in like 3 or 4 years. We could use to do a Dr. Sherman plushie in the black lab coat with facial hair now. Do a Dr. Sherman plushie round 2? Here, before I sign off, I'll show you the old one in case you're unfamiliar with it. Dr. Chair, keep him busy. This is our first Dr. Sherman plushie from a couple years ago. Hawaiian shirt, pen, eyebrow, the whole nine yards. Lab coat. So this is what we did the first time. We could do it again. We just need to make sure there's enough people who are interested in such a thing. That's my boy. No, my boy. Father, help. That was my favorite ad that we did for the plushie. We worked really hard to throw that plushie out a window and catch it to make that look really, really good. I was proud of that one. You can go back and watch the Dr. Sherman plushie ads from the previous run. I might just remake them all for the next one because they were good ads. Maybe we do the second plushie run. If I start planning it now, that gives us some time to ramp up pre-sale. All right, I'll consider that. I know, make it an SCP-999 plush. Intern monochrome arts, we already have that. If you go into the Site42 support link, which is beacons.ai/site42. It is in the description of the stream as well as pinned in the chat. You'll find a link called scpstore.org, and there you can get an SCP-999 plushie right now. That is just available. That would be from the same website that will have the Dr. Sherman plushie, because we do all of our plushie work through scpstore.org. Dr. Sherman, I will force my author to eat a hot chip or something or other to celebrate 1 year with you. Oh, Lord, the hot chip. Oh, that was so grumpy in my tumbly. No one liked that. That was bad. That was bad. I'll be begging everyone I know for one for Christmas. Well, monochrome. Oh, yes, the 999. Yes, that's you. Okay, yes, you can get one. Right now they are available, so start doing the Christmas. Next time, we'll do the Dr. Sherman plushie closer to the year mark. I think we'll start advertising it around... We'll either start the campaign in April or we'll advertise it a month before. That way we can have the campaign done on the stream anniversary. Well, we'll talk about it more. But in the meantime, hey, Site42 staff. We have made it to the end of today's stream. And as all, wait a minute. Interrupting my outro. Clarice, intern Clarice, thank you for your first and extremely generous donation to today's stream. What I want you to do is I want you to go to the commissary. And I want you to go up to the commissary employee. And I want you to offer them a medium 10. Not a high 10, not a low 10, a medium 10. And once they slap your hands, you need to grab them so they can't escape, and you need to wrestle them to the floor. That specific round of events is the password for the Divine Bagel. The Divine Bagel, you are not going to want to meet this. There may be a hole in that bagel, but it will fill you with everything. And so you enjoy that, and thank you again for your generosity. I see things before they happen. Oh, that's very useful. Please talk to your site director if it's not me, or talk to me later, and we'll sort out how to utilize precognition. We could use all the precognition we can get right now. Everyone's very excited about that bagel. Very excited about the bagel. But okay, as I was saying, Site42 staff, it's the end of stream, and at the end of stream, I always tell you my favorite SCPs. Of course, I'm not going to tell you the SCPs I personally wrote are my favorite. That would be cheating. But if you want to read the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's Site42 hub and author page on the SCP Wiki. There you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines to, or sound effects to. And while you're on my author page, one tab over from those SCPs is some links. Some links people are very interested in finding a lot of the time, but they just don't work hard enough to find them. They don't do the effort. And if you want to find those links, you need to go there. That's what you're going to do. And so, while you are at those links, you can become a Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can do Ko-Fi donations or YouTube Super Chats to donate to us once at a time. And either way, we greatly appreciate anyone who can directly donate to Site42. That helps us keep the lights on the most directly, so we appreciate your generosity. And in fact, Clarice, thank you for a second round of crazy generous donations today. Thank you so, so much. After you get that bagel, you know, I want you to go to my office. I will leave the door unlocked, and I want you to go to my coffee machine. There is a coffee that I have on loan. I know a guy who knows a guy, and it's from 3 Portlands, the Anomalous City. And that brew will make you feel like you are reliving the greatest book you've ever read. It's, that is the nice coffee right there. So thank you again for your generosity, and enjoy that coffee with your divine bagel. The divine bagel. Dr. Sherman, I have a liver surgery tomorrow, so I can't join your stream. Well, intern lifesaver, I hope the best for your surgery. I hope medical does a good job for you. Where was I? Now, outro continues. So, if you can't donate to Site42, do not worry. You are just as important to Site42 as long as you are a member of Mobile Task Force Site42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. By liking, sharing, and subscribing all of our videos, our streams, as well as the SCP projects of other SCP creators we support, you are helping us here at Site42 to be a broadcast network that grows the SCP community's fandom and the caliber of projects it can build. You help us to get more SCPs written, more SCP art, more SCP animations, games, films, and merch in the world. So even if you can't donate, as a member of Mobile Task Force Site42, codenamed the Signal Boosters, you are a fantastic help to Site42 and the SCP community as a whole, and we thank you for your service. Now, my outro keeps getting interrupted. Nicky Knackle, did you know SCP-049 is a chef? It can really cook a ham. You motherfucker, Desk. You motherfucker. Ooh. Nicky Knackle, Dr. Raymond Ham is my friend who was killed by SCP-049. That is the joke involved there. So, thank you to all of our donors. Thank you to all of our Mobile Task Force Site42 codename Sigma Booster members. And now, Site42 staff. My favorite SCPs, in no particular order, are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on the last one, it's a rough read. Speed round. 399930430008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, content warning on the last one, it's a rough read. Site-42 staff, this has been Dr. Theron Sherman in another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site-42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. I never meant to be so bad to you. One thing I said that I would never do. A look for you and I would fall from grace. And that would wipe the smile right from my face. Do you remember when we used to dance? And incidents arose from circumstance. One thing led to another, we were young. And we would scream together songs unsung. It was the heat of the moment, telling me what my heart meant. The heat of the moment showed in your eyes. The credit song is Heat of the Moment by Asia. Be safe, be well, Site-42 staff. Secure, contain, protect.